and I made this in 5 months. 5 long, drawn out, late night months. It was great. Wouldn't recommend it. Here's how I did it. If you remember not long ago, I was making a first-person movement shooter, but you see, there was a problem. Ambition. Yeah, this project was big, especially for my first commercial game. Before this, I spent 5 years making safety games, so people wouldn't break all their bones on this. I really needed to refine my skills with a smaller project, but where to start? I asked myself an important question. What am I passionate about? That is extremely important when choosing what to make. Well, as a devout Christian, I hold a Boy Scout mentality. The best stories to me are about a hero who risks everything to rescue those in danger. True selflessness. So, let's do that. A wave-based survival game with a twist, Rescue. The main character will be a selfless hero whose only mission is to save everyone. Yeah, so like how long should that take to make a tiny demo of that, you know what I mean? Like maybe about a month? Let's get started. I already had a ton of medieval themed 3D models I made for my previous game, and I had begun work on a robot model as well for the same game. Of course, I wanted to leverage that, so I set this game in a Renaissance fair, and the enemies, well, obviously robots. The context of the game is simple. Robots are revolting, or we can shorten that to Robo Revo. I began by laying out the level. I wanted large areas, starting at a tavern, leading into a patio, then onto a field, and after that, after like a short mission, you'd move on to an arena. Let's go. No, let's not go, because this game has morphed from the seemingly simple idea into something completely different. A version of the game I am much, much happier with, as you noticed at the beginning. But how did we get here? To answer that, I'm going to have to go over the mountain of issues that made me realize game development is complicated. So I'm going to do this in a chapter format, each section going over how different aspects of the game have changed from the simple wave survival into chair. Let's start things off with the level, since I already touched on that earlier. Originally, I had this design, huge open areas I planned to fill with stuff. However, after designing the whole thing, I realized something. Well put. Ouch. The level was way too basic. Just squares and rectangles. It was flat and has zero personality, as well as a huge glitch I could not figure out. Welcome to What's Broken in My Game. Today's topic is lighting. Our light complexity needs to be blue, green, or orange to prevent this. Purple and white are real bad. Now, what color do you think my level was? Was it A, white? It was white. It was white. The whole thing was white. Even when I remove all light from the level, unless I get the perfect angle, then it all turns blue. Dog, I don't know. Later I figured out this was probably because of my particle systems having lighting in them, but this should not have done anything like this. This should not cause an issue whatsoever. I was very unhappy with the level anyways, and the lighting was just icing on top of that cake. So I scrapped it. Kind of a theme we will see going forward. So I restarted the level and began anew. This time focusing on a unique layout and spending much more time on gray boxing. For all of my non-developer viewers out there, gray boxing is making sure a level is fun to play when everything is just gray boxes. If a game isn't fun with just boxes, it won't be fun when it looks like a Nintendo hire this person kind of thing. And later on, after what I like to call the change, which we haven't gotten to yet in the video, I went ahead and fully designed the tavern area, and this is the result of that. Looks pretty good, but there are parts of it I need to change, and I've begun to design other areas as well. Right now the art style is semi-realistic. I'm not the biggest fan of it right now. I have a passion for ink art, as you've seen in my previous project. I'm wanting to change this style, but I don't know what to yet. Maybe painted like this mock-up I did of this pistol, which is hand painted, or something closer to my previous project. I don't know though. Let me know what you think down below. I need help with this one. Okay, time for the big chapter, the real meat and taters of this project, the gameplay and why it morphed into chair. Okay, so originally, like I said, wave-based survival. It was going to be a standard FPS. I modeled 8 guns, I also textured them, rigged them, and animated nearly all of them. I also fully coded all 8 guns, each of them having 3 unique upgrades, which would completely change their gameplay. It took me forever, months. I had a crafting system to make the guns, menus, ammo, all of that good stuff. I did all of this, and it didn't feel right. months of development and it just lost the spark I was going for. First off, I cannot show you the gameplay or animations that I did with these guns. Why? Well, the arm model I was using, unknown to me at the time, were for personal use only as requested by the creator. Yeah, one of the very few models I did not personally make and are integral to the game and are integral to everything I had made so far, I could not use. I figured this out after randomly getting a hunch when I was driving my car that this might be the case, and it was. So it all had to be scrapped. And I'm going to respect the creator's wishes and not show any of the animations I made with them here. So I had to scrub all references to these arms in my game, and I had to make my own arm model. Rig it, weight paint it, texture it, and animate it. Not gonna lie, 'twas hard. I'm used to modeling, so organic human form isn't really my forte. But it's fine, I hear you saying it's fine. Just make new animations and throw the guns on those. We good, right? No! See, it wasn't just that. The game had lost the spark. It had lost the rescue part of the game that I was so excited about going in. And it turned into a standard FPS. Nothing unique, nothing to stand out. It was boring. So I began brainstorming. I wanted to focus much more on rescuing people. I ended up forming a different game plan. I asked my wife about it. I explained it like this: less Call of Duty, more Home Alone. And almost her exact words after I said this was this:
yeah, do that. Right now it's basically Call of Duty. Oh, so original.
And that was a
critical hit,
but a necessary one. I had a new plan now. The game will focus on saving people in danger using the world around you. No pew pew, instead chair. So I reworked countless systems, changed my code of my guns to be chairs, stools, barrels, bricks, hammers, all of that. I wanted to make it even more dynamic, so I added interactions. What do I mean by that? Well, wooden hammer plus fireplace equals fire hammer, sword plus rope equals falling chandeliers, and way more. I got excited at this point. The game finally felt unique and I had a clear vision. But you may be wondering, why am I so focused on the rescue part of the game? Why does that even matter? Well, because of... I love Narnia. It gets across complex, loving biblical messages in such an impactful and deep way. I mean, everyone loves Narnia, and the author, C.S. Lewis, is one of the best-selling Christian authors of all time. And Narnia is blatantly a Christian allegory, but Narnia is done the right way. It's done in a way that hits, and it doesn't feel like it's berating the viewer or bashing them over the head with it. I want to do the same with this game. See, putting passion into something makes it come alive, so I wanted to put my passion into this project. Now, I know a lot of people roll their eyes at that. I can 100% understand why. Most Christian media is well known for being low quality, but Narnia isn't, and I'm going to be using that for 90% of my inspiration to avoid... yeah. So I did some tests. For the first alpha I made, which was made just to test the mechanics and see if I could get cutscenes working, I really wasn't looking at Narnia whenever I made this, which means it was literal, Bible reading and verse reciting. However, I felt I could make this much more impactful and way, well, just better by doing an allegorical approach. So I'm still working on that. Thank you guys for watching so much. I'm so sorry this video took so long to get out. I was so nervous to come back because I kept telling myself I needed to finish a demo before I came back, but I realize now that was kind of silly. A demo is very close to being done though, so don't worry. And I have an announcement. Robo Revo, when it is finished, will be completely free on Steam. I'm not going to charge a penny for the game. Some games deserve to be free, guys. I'll probably have a supporters pack so you can support the game if you want, but the game will be free. I will not be gone for 5 more months. Do not worry about that. I plan on posting regular updates on this channel about this game, as well as doing live streams at least once a week. I'm hoping to do at least once a week, where I will be working on the project, 3D models, drawings, all that. Anyway, remember, Jesus loves you, and in him is salvation and forgiveness. God bless. Anyways, thanks guys. See ya.